Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to each one of you as we embark on an exciting journey today, creating a platform for global women to connect and collaborate. Yes, that's right. We are here with the Visionary Women Global Connect. This initiative is a part of Visionary Women Circle, a premium platform or subsect of the WeDo community, which is aimed at fostering a dynamic and mutually beneficial ecosystem for our members, mentors, advisors, and corporate supporters. This ecosystem aims to facilitate meaningful connections, knowledge exchange, and collaborative ventures. The Circle seeks to empower its members through various initiatives and activities with a focus on thought leadership and innovation, relationship cultivation, business engagements, and collaborations, etc., where members can synergize, learn, collaborate, and thrive in their respective fields, ultimately contributing to a stronger, more interconnected professional community. I hereby request our founder, Kadambari Umapati, Visionary Women Circle, and VDO to introduce about this Global Connect.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much, Divya. And once again, I welcome each one of you for yet another interesting episode of Global Connect. So, first of all, thank you, Divya, for your fantastic work as a president for Visionary Women Circle India. The whole aim of this circle is to get all women into organized space and women professionals under one platform so that we create that energy and a collection so that we could together cater to larger number of audience while we stay relevant and updated in the market. So one amazing such day is today, where as a part of Global Connect we have a guest from Nigeria. Probably today she's a guest, but very soon she's going to be our extended arm there in Nigeria. So thank you once again, and I am honored today to be here, and thank you once again, Divya, and I hope this session is going to be a very good beginning for all of us to explore markets outside India, especially in Nigeria, through the wonderful guests that we have here. Thank you, Divya. Over to you.
Thank you, Kadambari, for your trust always on me. We are honored to have with us Dr. Violet Abdulkadir, the Managing Director of TimeTel Nigeria Private Limited. She's an expert in the field of business and strategic management, and with a portfolio filled over 15 years of functional work experience in the field of business management, strategic management, and business development. She has handled various complex projects across Nigeria and beyond with a retinue of multinational clientele base to show for it and a huge resource for any industry. Dr. Violet is passionate about women empowerment, and that explains her affiliation with a lot of women based organizations such as African Women Entrepreneurship Program, We Connect International, and Women in Management and Business. Dr. Violet is a chairperson of International Trade Council Nigeria chapter, a position that enables her to facilitate business growth for businesses across 74 countries. That's wow. And she helps in making globalization seamless for SMEs with regards to seamless integration between global investors. She's also a board member in the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, Women in International Trade Council, Nigerian Diaspora Chamber of Commerce, September 19 Logistics. She's also an advisory member there. It's an honor to have you here with us, and not but the last but not the least, she's won several awards and accolades for her contribution in her work. We welcome you to VWC Global Connect platform. Over to you, Dr. Violet.
Thank you, Divya, for the interesting introduction. And I'm really glad to be here. I look forward to interacting with everyone. Thank you.
Dr. Violet, could you enlighten us about a little bit of why women entrepreneurship? What is the why behind you?
Okay, yes. being a woman entrepreneur, it's very, very interesting and challenging. And of course, we all advocate for women empowerment because when you empower a woman, you empower a nation. So it's very important that women are empowered. And for the flexibility of time, in order to manage so many things that attract our attention as women, it's always good to have a business you can manage and be flexible with your time so that you can be empowered and at the same time have a good life balance with other things that need your attention. So yes, for me, it's all about empowering other people and serving as an inspiration to the people coming behind, and also mentoring the younger generation, and also having resources to take care of my immediate needs as well. Thank you.
That's
So,
wonderful. Can we
yeah.
have Kandambari, please? Yes.
Yes. So, Dr. Violet, before we get to some of your theories or your learnings, can you tell us more about your journey? Because as women entrepreneurs, all of us, I think, unlike any entrepreneur, each of us have our own journey. So, today, through this Global Connect, some of the most important objectives that we would like to achieve with you is one, inspiration. Second is the technical know how, because inspiration alone is not going to get us to where we've got here. So, I think today, if we could, know more about one, your personal life, two, your profession, and also three, your most important learnings that's got you where you're here and your vision forward. So to begin with, can we understand a little bit about your journey from the beginning?
Okay, my journey as an entrepreneur is actually very interesting because, like I said, one of the things that drove me into entrepreneurship is flexibility with my timing, and also the passion to always empower. So, but like in everywhere, it's not easy being an entrepreneur. The journey has not been easy. It's been a journey of over 15 years. And I've learned a lot along the line because there are some things you cannot learn within the four walls of a school. There are some things that experience only can teach you. And one of those things, and one of my principles in life and as a business person, is to always do things ethically. So I always do things for the common good. Sometimes it hurts, it might not be easy decisions to make. But one thing is for sure, that when you always do the right thing, the doors will always open at the right time, and you also have a more sustainable business in having international best practices in what you do. It doesn't matter if you're just the only one. It doesn't matter if you have just 2 employees. Neither does it matter if you have 100 employees. The important thing is doing it right from the on go. Because when you start with doing the right things, your business is sustainable and it will grow faster, and then you also build a lot of trust and goodwill along the line. So, as a business person, the key thing is, first of all, you have to be passionate about what you do, because, like I said, it's not a walk in the park. It's not an easy journey. So, along the line, as you encounter your challenges, the passion is what keeps you going because it's something you love doing. Then you must have your clear-cut goals for the short, medium, and long term. So when you have your clear-cut SMART goals, because they must be achievable anyway. So when you have your goals, then you just follow them one step at a time. Because having a goal, setting a goal is important because that's what kind of gives you direction on where you're going. So you're not just living by the day, you already know, okay, for the short term, I need to get my business registered, I need to do this, I need to do that, maybe I need to partner with a logistics company. You need to define the things that you want to do at the short term and then follow them through. I know you may not achieve 100%, but if you achieve 70 to 80%, then you're good to go. Then you move to the medium term and the long term. So, and then a lot of the mistake that most entrepreneurs make is They don't want to walk before they run. You must walk before you run. So you can't start a business today and the next thing
Absolutely.
you want to just go into the international market when you do not even understand your local market. So you need to start from where your familiar terrain, build, learn, and then continue to grow. So that's another nugget I would like to drop there. And again, you need a lot of self-discipline. So you must separate yourself from your business. You do not delve into your business account to meet personal needs. Like I said, it's not until you have a big building or you have 100 employees before you begin to do things right. You need to get to do things right from day one of your business. So, first thing,
Absolutely.
have your business account, have your personal account, and you must pay yourself. You are working for that business. The business is an entity. Therefore, no matter how small the income is, ensure that you pay yourself a stipend at the end of every month for the work that you put in. Because the truth is, no matter how much you earn, there will always be things calling for you to use that money on it for the business. Therefore, if you're waiting for the right time is never going to
Never
come.
gonna
So
come.
you need to start right. You must pay yourself, and then you must be financially disciplined in the sense that whatever is for the business is for the business, and whatever is for you is for you. So that's one important thing, because that's where a lot of entrepreneurs make a mistake. Like, they just juggle everything together, and then when they have needs, they just go in there and pick here and pick there. Somebody asks, oh, I'm in this need, can you help? They go to the business account, and all that. But that is wrong. You need to be able to define what is for business and what is for personal use. So discipline in finance management is one key thing. And then you
So,
must
Violet,
have a
I
knowledge.
will just pause you a bit over here. I think I want to
Okay.
underline this statement for everybody because what she's bringing out here is so profound. Still, many of us women entrepreneurs, not just women entrepreneurs, when they get into business, the last thing that they think of, they think they are completely into charity. But the kind of taking a salary is important, and another thing, your money and your business's money is absolutely different. I think that's one thing, especially for starters. If there are starters who are watching this, I think that discipline is so very important. And while you're talking about this, I think we should also touch on the cash flow management, which is so critical. On papers, being a super profitable business, but where did this money go? That's the kind of question which many entrepreneurs have. So having a good knowledge on the cash flow, which is so important, I think you just put that. So I just wanted to pause, and I wanted to also have this statement out there so that it goes again as a re-endorsement. Yes, please, go ahead, Dr. Violet. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, having a knowledge of finance is a must for every business person. It's not just a matter of knowing, okay, I sold 5 items, I have 5,000 and all that. No, you need to understand what your cash flow means. What are your numbers telling you? Because the truth is, numbers don't lie. So once you're able to understand your numbers, it helps you to be proactive in taking decisions that will ensure that you have consistent cash flow, and also that you have a sustainable business. So I would advise that anybody who is in business, no matter how small, you can take, there are so many free courses online that you can take on finance management. It's very, very important. It is the key to the success of any business, because once you understand your numbers, then you're good to go. You're able to plan, you know when to scale up or scale down based on what your numbers are telling you. So that's another important aspect of running a successful business and being a successful entrepreneur. And then the third thing is having a policy that guides your organization. What is the culture of your organization? What are your key values? You must have your values as an organization. You must have your values as a human being. What are those
Totally.
things that are important to your organization, so that when you employ people, they have something that is guiding them, that they're looking forward to, So, and like they say, there's the saying that goes, culture is strategy for breakfast.
Yes.
So if there's no culture, then there's no strategy, because no matter the best policy or structure you want to bring in place, the lack of culture in the place is going to swallow it up, and you keep going back and forth. So one of the key things is to have your clearly defined vision of what you want to do, where you want to go, and your mission. How do you want to get to that place that you want to go at the long run? And then what are the things that are the core values of your organization, because that is what helps in building the culture. Because when everybody in your system understand the things that are important to that organization, then everybody will align and drive the culture. So it's important to have a vision and then have a culture in your organization, have your core values, let everything be defined. And then the last but not the least, you need to be ethical. You must do things for the common good. You must do things not as it only benefits you or just to make profit, but how are you impacting your stakeholders, your employees, the shareholders, the community you're operating in, your suppliers? How does your business impact this stakeholders? It's very, very important that you put that in perspective, even as you run and plan your business. So I would like to pause here because I believe you have more questions to ask. Thank you.
Dr. Violet, in fact, I was just summarizing inside my head that you have to an extent summarized all about touched on aspects of corporate governance, which are the
Yeah.
key for any organization. What do you think about the good governance practices, and would it be really necessary to have it in a startup company or probably a women-owned businesses? What do you think can be an impact?
Yeah. Every business, whether woman owned or not woman owned, needs a proper governance structure in place. You may say, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I just have two employees and myself. Why do I need corporate governance?" Of course, you need the checks and balances. You need people that will keep you on your toes. You need people that will always tell you the things you cannot see. Therefore, it's important to have a governing council. Even if you do not have a proper board, you can select people. You know your weakness as a person, so you look for those areas that you're weak. Look for people who are strong in those areas. Invite them to be your advisors. You can start with having an advisory board. You may not necessarily just jump into having a proper board, but you need to have advisors. If your strength is in just entrepreneurship, you need to look for people that can guide you on leadership, people that can guide you on the finance part of your business, people that have the strength, business development, that you can see their track record. You need to woo them to buy into your vision and then come to be your advisors on the board of your company. So that way, when you have that level of structure, it keeps you on check and helps you to align with international best practices. So having proper corporate governance is not until you're a big conglomerate. You start from day one. Like I said, the easiest way out is evaluating yourself, identifying your strengths and weaknesses, and then looking for people that can fill up your areas of weakness. And they're doing it pro bono. You're not paying them. They're happy to do it for you because they're buying into your vision and they're ready to handhold you through the process of growth. So, yes, corporate governance is key to sustainable business and successful businesses. There must be that check and balances. It must not be a one man that calls the shots in everything that happens. You must be answerable to people. There must be people that are checking and ensuring that you're doing the right thing. Thank you.
Yes, Divya. Okay, so Dr. Violet, I think that was so good because from the kind of experience you are from, and especially having entrepreneurs out here in different sizes and shapes. In fact, some of them who are just starters, some of them who are just dreaming of bigger things. But the foundational points that you've actually mentioned remains the most important. So like we always say, I love to have a slide which is a constant in most of my presentations. The world's tallest buildings have the deepest foundation. So if you really want to build a tallest building, of course all of these, the corporate governance, the team that's involved, your peers and everybody, and the policies, most importantly the culture and ethics, these are the things which is actually going to drive you to build a sustainable tall foundation. And I think you put it really really well. And now I would like to actually ask you about leadership, being a boss versus being a leader who could create more leaders. So who is a leader and what is that about a leader? Because every entrepreneur, this is one question which runs in their mind. Hey, say I have about 50 people working under me, am I a leader? Are they leaders? So who are leaders and what is it to be a very effective visionary leader? We would like to hear your thoughts on that.
Thank you. My interpretation of leadership is actually serving, being a servant, because to lead, you need to be able to carry people along. And the fact that you are the owner of an organization and you have 50 employees does not make you a leader, because a leader is someone who is able to evaluate and understand the people that they work with, identify their weak points, handhold them. You're like a coach. You're nurturing,
Absolutely.
encouraging, motivating. So you should inspire hope. Even in the face of the most difficult challenges, you should inspire hope as a leader. And a leader also gives people room to grow. You can't be micromanaging people. To be a leader, you must be a good team player. You need to give people room to also make mistakes and learn. To be a leader, you must be open for people to make mistakes and take that as a learning point to be a better person. Therefore, leadership is all about being able to carve out a strategic direction and then guide people to go through and get to that point that you want to go by inspiring them, empowering them, and encouraging, training, and all that. And also by living by example. You can't tell people, don't do this, and you are doing it. To be a leader, you must at all times walk the
Yes.
talk. If you
Yes.
say, like, for example,
Totally.
in my organization, like I always say, I'm an advocate for ethics in business. Therefore, that is the number one core value in my organization. And I live it through because there's always watching you to see what you're doing. Therefore, as a leader, when you say you must walk the talk, you must do what they learn more by watching you than actually by what you're saying. The people working for you learn more from the things, the actions you take. They watch how you handle situations, how you respond to issues, how you manage challenging environments. They're watching you. So that is the greatest leadership that you can provide for your people. So it's not about the office that you're sitting in or the number of checks that you can sign or the number of instructions that you dish out. It's all about bringing everybody together, giving them a sense of belonging and ownership, and then bringing out the best in them and helping them even discover the talents they have that they did not even realize that they had it there. That's, for me, that's what leadership is all about.
That's
Can't agree
fantastic.
more. Can't agree more.
Absolutely, absolutely. So another thing, Violet. So we, as I keep mentioning again and again, we are entrepreneurs here in different stages, size, and shapes. So as a woman entrepreneur, specifically aimed at women, what do you see as the top limitations which actually stops a woman from what she could have potentially been to what she is currently? What do you think are some of these? Probably today, while we talk, this could be like a reality check for a lot of women out there. So, what do you think is stopping a woman from playing to her potential from your point of view?
Okay, the truth is, as being a woman, just being a woman, you're already faced with a lot of inhibitions and biases, right? So the greatest challenge for most women is being able to come out from that spot of that bias that you're a woman, therefore you can't do this. right? So the first thing is to fight the enemy within, which is our mindset that is very limiting. A lot of women have a limiting mindset and they feel, oh wow, this dream, this vision is too big. It can be achieved by a woman. Who says so? A woman can achieve anything that she wants to achieve. Therefore, the first thing is the bias of the mind. Remove yourself from the inhibitions you've created for yourself from your bias mindset that you're a woman. That's number one. Then number two is being a very good time manager, because women generally we're naturally built to multitask. Therefore, you must be very disciplined in time management, allotting time to different things that needs your attention, because I think a lot of women face that challenge and they're unable to, like, manage everything. So you must give things at the right time. I will give an instance. Like myself, um when I got married, I told myself, even as a business person, I told myself, I said, I'm going to do my MBA when I've had my last child, and my last child is 3 years. I could have done it in the midst of having my babies, but I told myself it would be too much for me to handle. Therefore, let me focus on other things. When I have my last child and he or she is 3, then I can go for my MBA. And that was exactly what I did. So once I had my last child and my last child was 3, I started applying for the MBA course, and eventually I went through. What am I saying? Even in setting goals for yourself, you also have to be realistic on things that need your attention and be able to balance it. Because the truth is, everybody is on their own individual race. You're not competing with anyone.
Wonderful.
Therefore, you determine how you run your race and how you balance and get everything done. Then the other challenge that most female entrepreneurs have is about finance, access to finance, right? Like I mentioned earlier, because most female entrepreneurs do not really take cash flow management seriously. They're too emotional. They're not ready to run business as business. You're running a business, a cousin comes, oh, auntie, this, I'm almost out of school. You go to your business account, you dip in your hand, you give to that. So those are some of the things that inhibit our access to funds, because when you want to access funds, your records must be straight. Your financial management must be top notch. So I think if most entrepreneurs or female entrepreneurs are able to begin to build financial discipline into running their business, then we can access more funds to grow our businesses. So that's one of the challenges. And then the next one is ability to manage, have a good life balance in terms of your home front, the children, and then your business. So like I said, time, efficient management of time, allotting the right time to everything that needs your attention. So once you're able to put this together and then have a good finance management record for you to be able to access finance out there, then definitely. And then the ones you cannot do, employ people with capacity to do for you. You can't be a jack of all trades. You can't be a marketing director, finance
Correct.
director. You're just everything in your business. No, learn to outsource the things that you cannot
Delegate.
do, so that you can
Yes.
be more efficient in the things that you do. That's it.
Oh, I think that was going to be my next question, and you absolutely nailed it. The art of delegating and believing that there could be somebody who could do better than us or lesser than us, if not exactly like us. So, being nurturers, this is quite a natural tendency for many women to just keep holding on to things so much and naturally multitasking. So, there is eventually they learn, but the process could be faster. That's the whole point. Eventually they'll have to give away things and get things going. But this for making this point is so important, because for those who are watching, and if they feel they are busy 24/7, it's just because they're probably not delegated, and
Yeah.
they feel nobody can do that better than they could. So I think that was a very, very important and a fantastic point that you made here. Divya, do you have a question, or can I go forward?
you go forward, I was just wanting to ask how these are managed in fashion industry, especially.
Great. Yeah.
Especially, I went through a little bit about time tell, and you have some gorgeous clothes that you spin out, and I can very well associate because once upon a time we had we were into yarns and towels. So, and South Africa being the first country that we exported to, and still continuing for the last 11 years. So, I was very interested how these work in fashion industry, which is constantly evolving. It's trend after trend.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. If you look at the story of TimeTel, I don't know if you've looked at our website, but the thing is, TimeTel as a business evolved over time, right? We started with gift and branding, and the thing about TimeTel is each of the aspects of the business that evolved over time was actually meeting a need from the people that we serve. I will give an example, like the corporate gift and promotional items that we do. We started with that. And then while we were doing corporate gift and promotional items, we discovered that most times our clients want good quality promotional t-shirts and polos and all that. And then along the line, we said, okay, that was how we're the official distributors of Fruit of the Loom brand in Nigeria. So that was how that came in. So when I traveled for one of my trade exhibitions and I met the president for Fruit of the Loom, and I said, I would like to distribute your product in my country. And he thought I wasn't serious. After the exhibition, I followed up with a mail, and like they said, the rest is history. So we needed to like meet that need of premium promotional wares. So that was how we evolved into that. And then while doing that, also working with our clients, we discovered that most of them are having issue penetrating the interior areas of the country where they need to provide their services, where they do not have brick and mortar offices. And then that was how the retail solutions aspect of the business evolved. So we started developing mobile solutions for these companies for market penetration, to create mobile solutions that they can move to those areas they don't have brick and mortar offices, deliver their services, and then at the close of work, move those mobile offices back to their regional office. So that's how that aspect evolved. And then along the line, we also discovered, okay, most times people wear African attire, and then if they want to change, they need to switch to put on a Western wear. And I felt, okay, can we have the two in one outfit? So that was how the part of Afri Concept, the fashion brand, evolved, where we're trying to meet a need where you can connect with Africa using fashion as a tool. So what am I trying to say? In every aspect of the business that we do, they evolved because we're trying to meet a need that people have somewhere along the line. And then the fashion business is evolving, but we are very clear on what we want to do in the fashion space, which is creating ethical and sustainable fashion pieces using authentic handmade African fabrics to tell the African story and emotionally connect the global community to Africa, which is our root. So we are very clear on the vision and what we're doing. And if you check our pieces, they are uniquely designed because we are designing them to meet every need, not just for the African market, but for the global market, that anybody from any part of the world should be comfortable to put on what we have made. And then while doing that, also, we are aligning our processes with the SDG goals of no poverty, gender equality, and climate action. That's goal 1, 5, and 13. Goal 1 for no poverty, what we do, we have a social impact program where we train women who are economically disadvantaged on how to use the weights that we're generating to create fashion accessories that they can sell, earn a living, and empower their families. Then for the gender equality, we are conscious about having 60% to 40% ratio of women in everything that we do, both under our employment, both in outsourcing and our trade partners and all that, thereby bridging the gender gap in the workspace. And then for climate action, what we're doing is we have a zero waste policy where every single cut off that we have in the process of our production is reused into making other things, smaller items, gift items, and all that. So looking at this, it's making us evolve. So, like I said, the fashion space is highly competitive, but we are very clear and we have distinguished ourselves on what we believe in and what we're trying to do, and people are buying into that vision. And that was part of what led to our winning the Go Global Awards in 2023, because our mission was very clear to all. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. In fact, at this point in time, Dr. Violet, I would also like to introduce, but unfortunately, she's not here today, a member from Vidu, and she's got a brand called Button on Button, and she's from Mumbai, India. And I think both of you all, I will arrange for a meeting for both of you all. I'm sure what you do in Africa is what she's doing here in India, and we're super proud to have her as a part of the circle. So I think with both of you all meet, it's going to be a Afro-Indian kind of a product line, which could actually evolve in the process. So that's fantastic. And yes, over to you, Divya. Any follow-up question on this?
Not a follow-up question, but I would like to acknowledge whatever she said, because when I went in 2014 for a market study in South Africa, I did not expect to see women in LPG back then. There was no concept of LPG in that point of time. And, we sat down with the ambassadors, and she was extremely warm and she was welcoming. So that, and in fact, it's a proud moment for me as a brand, because Anil Engineering did the first conversion of diesel oil to LPG in South Africa, and then slowly we moved to Lagos as well. So why I was saying is because of the gender diversity and the equality that I really witnessed there. I was totally gobsmacked, and it was truly a moment of assurance, I can say.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. In fact, if Bhavna is watching the live, if you can see on your screen, you can look at the message that she's put up. So, Bhavna, in case you could come in into the Visionary Women Circle group and join us in the live, it will be great. In fact, we can see both of you all getting introduced on the live and having the discussion on the live. So, Swapna, if you can actually see if you can bring her on the live, it should be great. So, as we do this, so about some synergies between we do and a Visionary Women Circle and women entrepreneurs in Africa, you being a part of a lot of chambers. So where do you see there are possibilities of synergy between our Visionary Women Circle members, women entrepreneurs, and women entrepreneurs there? So things that you've worked in the past with India, or anything that you would like to add as a point here, Violet.
Okay, I see, like they say, the world is a global village right now. So there are actually no barriers to trade. So Nigeria is a very vibrant country, and the women entrepreneurs here are very daring. They, they are very daring and very creative. And I think it will be a very beautiful marriage between both countries, in the sense that in terms of business exchange, collaborations, and also in terms of mentoring one another and all that. So there's a lot of opportunities for both on both sides, in terms of business exchange, business collaboration, business growth, and all that, and then an exchange of knowledge also, because it's not all about just the business side of things, but even exchange of knowledge, and the level of exposure that a lot of them are at also will also help. So yeah, there's a whole lot of opportunities. And I know that India has a lot of silk materials, right? Silk.
Absolutely wonderful ones. Yes, yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
So
Very
yeah,
rich in culture, and every state has its own fabric, and there's some amazing things. In fact, we welcome you. We welcome you to India on a delegation. Probably we should think of bilateral delegation. Maybe we could come there, you could come here, and I think over the call we are definitely would discuss this forward and think of a delegation, and probably we'll try to put couple of interests forward and try to work something out so that you can come and explore some very specific areas which you want to. Yes,
Yes,
to
yes,
your
yes,
question, absolutely. India at
yes.
every state or every place has a fabric to flaunt. So we're extremely rich in culture that way. Yes, please go ahead.
So that's a good place to explore, like I said, and also with my experience in leading successful trade missions. In fact, as I'm speaking in March, next month, March, we're expecting a delegation, an inbound mission from Illinois in USA. And I'm championing that. So I have a lot of experience in that, building that bridge for collaboration, trade missions. Sometimes even virtual. It may not necessarily be physical. We could have
We'll plan
a
one
virtual,
virtually
yeah,
immediately.
business
Yes.
matchmaking and all that. So yeah, so the thing is, there's a lot of opportunities to explore, and Nigeria is a huge market because we have over 200 million people in the population, and about 60% of that are youths, people in their prime. So there's a lot to explore and
Right.
do together. So I'm excited, and I'm actually looking forward to that, to see how we can go about this and creating
100%. We'll
opportunities
begin with the
for both.
virtual immediately,
Yeah.
which we've already discussed about, and I'm sure there will be a lot of things churning out from there. So, Swapna, were you able
Definitely.
to bring Bhavna up here? Okay, not an issue, not an issue. Just try. So we just like getting a little greedy because we just wanted to introduce you to a person who's good with the fabrics and things out here. So we
Okay.
would love to see both of you all speak, and we would like to admire that. So until then, Divya, over to you.
So, what I was thinking next was, what is the right channel of collaboration, would you think? Like, probably in terms of an international trade of commerce or channels like that. What would you suggest?
You mean in terms of trade missions, or I'm not really clear with that question. Sorry.
I was wondering if what could be the right channel for such collaborations for an
Okay, okay.
international aspect, especially with Africa. Is there a specific chamber of commerce or something that we have to get a tie up with?
Not really, not really. Like if you're already working together, we can always. The thing is, there are a lot of chambers of commerces here. So what we could do is getting people from those different places to collaborate and interact with people from your own side, and see how it goes. So I would suggest an initial virtual contact, and then we build up from there,
Yes.
because
So,
there needs to
Dr.
be time
Violet.
to build relationships and all that.
Yes. So, Dr. Violet, I have a question here for you. So,
Yeah.
while it comes to Nigeria, what do you think are the risks that we need to have in mind? So, because we do hear a lot of things in terms of risks for entrepreneurs and some news out there. So, if in case we want to get into business out there, so what are the things that we must know? The probable possibilities of risks. So because there are a lot of agents who also approach us in terms of entering markets, so the scams involved. So what's your local information on these risks, and how do we mitigate this risk? And also, while we are speaking, I'm going to also bring two other members on stage shortly for you. One is Harini, who's again again who owns a fashion brand with wonderful. I mean, she's going to explain it herself. And I also have Shalini, who owns a boutique here in India, and I'm sure you're and who is in the fashion space as well. So I'm sure we're going to bring them up, and we're going to see you speak to them as well. Yes, to my question, the risks involved or the things that we must be aware of. Over to you.
Yeah, like it is, there's no part of the world you go to that there's no business risk. But the thing is, if you want to go into a country to do business, it's important that you follow the official channels. Don't try to cut corners. Don't try to say, okay, I know this person. No, there are standard processes, that there are agencies. Like you need to verify that the person you're dealing with is a registered company. You have to be sure that it's an existing company, not just somebody that is just having some fake whatever. And then you need to also have the history of businesses. If the person says, I'm in this business, what's the history? How many people, there should be testimonials to people who have actually, enjoyed that service or whatever it is. There has to be. And then there are agencies that you can also verify about the status of a business in Nigeria. There are agencies like the something about CAC. It's called the CAC, where you verify that that company is officially a registered company, and what they do, and who are the board members, who are the people championing that business. These things are verifiable. And then if you want to take it further, you can engage Duns and Bradstreet to also do verification for you. So I think one thing you should also be sure that the person has gone through that third party verification of Duns and Bradstreet. Duns and Bradstreet is a global agency that verifies businesses. So I think if you put that as a standard, to be sure that, okay, this is a verified business under Duns and Bradstreet. What's their Duns and Bradstreet number? And all that. So I think with all that, you can't get it wrong. But what I would advise is never go into a country through the wrong channel, because you'll be exposed and be prone to being exploited. But when you follow the official channels of verification, you get results, and then you will deal with the right people. That's what I can say.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So, in fact, the whole purpose of Visionary Women Circle out here is to create that authentic channel so that anybody who's exploring does not get into the wrong hands. So
Mhm.
we ensure that we create connections in the other side so that it's more easier. I mean, people from your place, if they want to start something in India or engage with India, we serve as that agency which actually authenticates and verifies and validates and aggregates the right kind of connections. So thank you, Dr. Violet, for that. And now is I come to this interesting part. We have Harini and we have Bhavna out here. So let me put you on to Bhavna first, who is Bhavna. Over to you, the founder of Button Unbutton. And so I'm just we are going off. We're just going down off the screen so that I leave you all to interact. Bhavna, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Violet. You've been very, very insightful conversation happening. And it's very, very encouraging, and also it gives you a complete perspective how to look at your business more holistically and as a complete entity in itself, and not just focus on one particular area. So thank you for that,
Thank you.
beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather, so I may not be looking it's all over the place, but
It's
it's
fine.
my privilege and honor to meet you. We are definitely meeting on virtual, but we surely intend at some point to meet you in person. I'll just give you a little bit about myself. So I come from a legacy of textiles. My father in 1960 started, screen printing and block printing in India when the concept was very new. And he's one of the pioneers to bring in screen printing to India, to country. And he was also the representative of handloom handicrafts of Government of India, where he took the handlooms of India to to the countries in the West. Unfortunately, things did not go. I lost him very early in life. And then, of course, this has been always my passion, and it's always been something very close to my heart. And so, almost after, say, like 35 years, or I think probably more, I have started this. I've gone back to what I always wanted to do. And I currently work under a label, a brand name called Button and Button. Our our intention is to basically bring in artisans communities together. That's our prime focus. India is a hub of handlooms. You have handloom from across different states. Different states have different, history to it. It has, heritage to it, and it also is still very synonymous to the contemporary world. It's just that it has got lost because of, industrialization and all of it coming into business. But fortunately, COVID has got us one more thing, that we need to, save our planet, and how we can consciously, build it up. So Button and Buttons motive and mission is to bring in the artisans and the handlooms of this country and take it globally, and also vis-a-vis, so I was very happy to hear from you where sustainability is what you're working on already in your country, and how you're bringing in communities together. So very similar module here. I am also working with artisans across India, and my intention is to bring women together, women artisans, women people, women who are, of the similar, thought process, and how they come under one umbrella where we build in, and we also exercise sustainability, just not the sustainability, but also bringing in employment, bringing in, value to it, and how you can build a brand with under this umbrella, bring in all aspects of it. That's what Button and Button is stands for. We are a 2-year-old company, and we're building it gradually. We are already an online a brand which is fully available at marketplaces as well as on our website. But yeah, we're looking at global expansion and doing mutual collaborations, with the other people outside of our country. So that's what we are all about. So thank you so much.
So, Bhavna, what I want you to educate her is about the wonderful different varieties of fabrics, which
Okay.
which
Okay.
probably that could actually interest her. Could you just
Yeah.
share some information
Yeah.
on that?
So I'll give you, like, there is a fabric called Bagru. Now Bagru is the name of the fabric. It's basically termed as that. It's a beautiful fabric which is made in Rajasthan. The whole process came from the Mughals way back, like more than 500 years back. But today it is one of the heritage of Rajasthan in our country, where it's made with mudslinging. So that's the beauty of it. So if you would have seen, a lot of indigo work also happens in the West, but here also it's a very similar indigo which is done, but it has a very different process altogether, which you will not find in any other part of the world. Similarly, there is ikat, which even Harani would say it's a handloom which is done, still done by hand. It's still, and there is a differentiation, there is mill work also happening of the. So when you identify the fabric, you will see there is a ikat which is done by hand and an ikat done in a mill. You will see a very different, it's a zigzag, fabric which you would have seen. It's a very very one of the famous, heritages of, a particular part of our country, which is Andhra. Then there is Sambalpuri. Now, Sambalpuri has actually gone on Milan Fashion Week, and some 20 years back. Now, Sambalpuri is made with vegetable dyes. Their basic formal color is only black, red, and green. They don't use, now with it, more of industrialization and more into contemporary. They have started, or are using now other colors, because these three colors were the basic colors which they used to make from vegetables
Okay.
extracts. And that's how Sambalpuri came into being. It's still one of the most authentic fabrics which are there in our country. There is Kalamkari again, which is more about florals. So when Mughals came in, they always had a fascination for flowers, birds, all of that. And how it became, we imbibed it into our culture, and we turned it, because they used to use more of reds and blues. We have turned into beautiful colors. So we use, like, our basic colors are haldi, which is very synonymous with us, which is the turmeric color. Harini, you can budge in if there is anything you would like to talk about it, because she specializes into kalamkari. She does one of the best works, into it.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that there are communities which are now rarely left, which are doing lot of handloom work still, I traveled extensively to Northeast. Northeast does only weave work. There is only weaving to it. But the weave also is, it's very it's like intricate work of threads into one fabric. Yeah, which you will not see in a mill, and these are now extincting because there is no opportunities, or there is no support system to the artisan. So I, under this my brand, is wanting to bring all these cultures and all these history and heritage of India in whichever big way, small way, I cannot comment at this point, but this is a journey we have taken, and we want to bring this to the world, and for the next generation to know that there is beautiful fabric out there, and there is a beautiful heritage and history which should be imbibed and embraced by the coming generations to stay. That's exactly what our mission is. So yeah, thank
Wow.
you. This is what it is.
That's very amazing, very very amazing. But you need to tell your stories. You have a very beautiful story, a very beautiful brand. But you need to be able to draw attention to that brand by telling your stories. I'm really
Ab-
quite impressed. Like you said, we're doing something similar, and but
yeah.
the thing is about being able to tell your stories in a way that people
Yeah.
can buy into your story, and then buy into the brand. So I don't know
Yes.
if you have a website. I would like to look at your website
No,
and
I
see.
have a website, Dr. Violet. I will share the details with you. Maybe I'll
Okay,
share it
okay,
with Kadamri. We have a website. We are on an Instagram page. So we are pretty much on the virtual world.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So I would like to look at what you have, and then I will engage more with you. I think I like your fascinating story.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. All
Thank
because of
you.
Kadambari. She's most inspiring woman among our. She's the one who's really inspired us to be here, and I think she's doing a great work of connecting people. I think that's the most beautiful thing she's doing. So all
All
good
of us
wishes
are.
and blessings to her. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello,
Thank
I
you
would
for
like to
that.
add a small
Yeah.
point about the magic of colors in this.
Yes.
So, India is divided in many different parts, and every part. I'm Harini. I am a founder of Harini Designs. So, it was very nice to hear you all that you have shared. I share my ideas and designs. I cultivate the art and the culture of our country to give a twist for the modern generation, so that everybody can enjoy the culture and the Indianness of all the products which our weavers and the artisans who make. So that's about me. So what the magic is that every part of India has block printing which is done. So all are natural colors, which they started with only natural colors because pigment dyes and chemical dyes were not so famous earlier. So the natural colors were available. They used to create. So each part, the water is different. The river water is different from one south part of India and north part of India, where there are two kind of block printing. Like many kinds of block printings are there, but in place called Maheshwar also they do block printing. In Andhra Pradesh they do block printing. So the river water, when they wash the cloth after block printing, when they do the block printing, you won't see the color. You won't come to know. So they give an outline and then they put the color inside it. So when they put the organic color in that block in that, you don't see the color. Like, so when they go for a wash, the color which is reacting with the river water and the minerals in the river is different from the Maheshwar. So both block printers have the same similar designs but with the different colors. It is such a
Wow.
magic when you get to learn all that, and when you get to hear all that. It's really very beautiful. Like they make lungis also out of that, like sarongs and everything. They do it on that. and it is very beautiful. Like they do it on saris, like name it, they have it. So it's a very beautiful tradition. It was nice to hear you. Like if we get to know about the fashion over there, also we can do it. And even batik, when you go to see, batiks are also done. Wax printing and all is also done in a different way. Every place has its own colors, and how it reacts is entirely different. The motives also different. Like one area, the motive is different. The other place, the motive is different. When you see the fabric, when you get it from two different places, you can identify like from where it has come. It is
Origin,
Indian
yes.
fabric only, but you have different designs which are coming from different parts of the states. That is the richness of Indian fabrics. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harini, for that quick introduction. And I'm sure, Violet, I'm sure you're getting an understanding about your industry from India. And again, in fact, both of them, Harini is from a different part of India. She's from Hyderabad, and Bhavna is from absolutely the other side, which is Mumbai. And now we have Shalini, who's from Chennai. So people whom you're meeting from inside India are not from the same location. They are almost from different parts of India. So yes, I think we've lost Violet. She'll be there. Okay, super. So before she rejoins, let's quickly, for all those who are watching this live, thank you very much. I think this was an amazing, quick, most unplanned, probably. It was so nice to have the members here because we flow with the flow. The whole idea is to connect women from across the globe. That's Visionary Women Circle for you. And those who want to take up a membership, this Visionary Women Circle membership is for women in organized businesses and women professionals like architects, doctors, lawyers. So, women more into the organized professional and entrepreneurs can apply for the membership. And the whole idea is to bring us together, representing India to women across the globe. So we've got Violet back once again. So Violet, we have Shalini here, who is again a little different, and she runs a boutique here from Chennai, again from a totally new region in India. So all of them are from different regions from across India. Yes, over to you, Shalini.
Hello, hi. It was like great, inspiring listening to you and knowing things which is happening in different country. So it was like really awesome to know many things about there, what's happening and how you people carry the business over there and all. So and myself, I'm Shalini, designer, and I own a boutique in Chennai. Like we in Chennai is the main part of India, right? Something like Delhi, Chennai is also a hot spot. So here we get different sources of fabric and different kinds of people over here. It is a metropolitan city, and we have different kind of people. So what I do is like we design the things like use the fabrics like we have different specialized fabrics in different region, right? Hand block prints and kalamkari and everything. So we use this for customizing Indo-Western outfits. So we do Indo-Western outfits. So the younger generation also prefer the outfits and they carry themselves with the tradition in it. So these kind of things we do, and also we refurbish the old clothes where no the person is not using the old fabrics and staying long in their wardrobe, and they don't even have the heart to throw it away. So we refurbish it by giving some personal touch. Like now we are adding tanjore paintings. It is a specialized painting which we can do in the fabric. We add the tanjore painting either in like what to say like kurtis, saris, blouses, and give a new touch to it, and we make them to use it. And also the old fabric, the fabrics no which we stitch and the wastage we don't dump into the ground. We give it to the person who does pet bits. So we supply it to the person. So we try to maximum be good to earth and do good things to the earth. So that's a short introduction about me. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's
So,
very
Violet,
good.
if you have any advice or a bit of your advice for any of these women out here, most welcome before we go to the next part of our conversation. Anything from your end, Violet?
Yes, yes. I like the fact that she mentioned something about revamping old clothes. And that's a very good one. You may not know, but you're contributing to the SDG goals of climate action and then sustainability, because less is more. The fashion industry now is trying to slow. They don't want fast fashion because fast fashion generates a lot of waste. So what you're doing, you can actually amplify your voice, and get people to buy into that, because it's a very good thing that you're doing. So you need to really enhance that further. It's a very good thing, because you're aligning with the SDG goals, and then you're following the trend in the fashion industry where they're trying to reduce waste generation. So what you're doing, you're helping people not to generate more waste, but trying to reuse and extend the life cycle of the dresses or whatever it is. And that's a very good action. And you need to amplify it further so that you can draw attention to your brand. Thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing and
Yeah.
fantastic, Shalini, and all of you who've been here. So, Dr. Violet, in fact, I'm flashing some of the comments that we've received. You've received quite a lot of love from other members who are watching the live. So, they've given you warm welcome. And yeah, I'm just showcasing a couple of them to you. Warm welcome, ma'am. Happy to see a vibrant, powerful women from Nigeria. So, I thought it's
Oh, wow.
important for you to know that you're getting a lot of welcome. And we have another Facebook user who said, great to see you, Dr. Violet. Looking forward to get inspired. So I'm sure they're already inspired. And then we have few others who've given you greetings. And we have a question for you, if you could enlighten us on us. Any business ideas for millet food? This is again another We Do member who runs this brand called Tasty Aroma Foods. So, any business ideas for millet foods, and how's the market out there in Africa for millet foods? And because in India, last year was the millet year, and millet is a big trend right now out here. And we are moving a lot faster towards healthy living and wellness and all of that. So, some thoughts. Would you like to take this question?
Yeah, and the thing is, I wouldn't know what state the millet foods are. You can create, if you add value to them and package properly. Yeah, is good for export, and definitely there's market for that here. Because
Okay.
it's a very good cereal, but it depends on how it's packaged and what do you make it into, not just the raw millet. So there must be some value addition,
Fantastic. So,
to
if you could
whatever it
probably give us appropriate connections for this,
is.
probably, I mean, if you could have it in your mind and see if there's somebody who you could connect on this line, that should be
Okay.
fantastic. And thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Violet. And I would like to bring Divya back to the stage here. I think we've we've enjoyed every minute, and personally me, I think it was we had a lot of fantastic idea exchange, thoughts, and your experience, and also synergizing and talking to members from here. I think we've been on live for almost 1+ hours, 6:30, 7:30, 1+ hours right now, and I think the time just flew. So over to you, Divya.
So, Dr. Violet, I'd like to present the vote of thanks as we've already crossed the time and due to the paucity of time. I would like to render a special note of appreciation to you, our distinguished guest for the evening, Dr. Violet. Your expertise, passion, and the willingness to share your knowledge, especially on the corporate governance part as well, which is very critical for a business to thrive and sustain for a long period of time, It has elevated the quality of our discussions and provided valuable insights that will undoubtedly resonate long after this event. Let's carry forward this knowledge, connections, and the spirit of collaboration that defines this whole virtual global connect platform. And not to forget our technical support to coordination. Thank you so much, Swapna, for live streaming this virtual meet. Thank you so much, Kadambari, for creating this platform and connecting women across India and other countries. Someday we will also be having an intro like Dr. Violet with certain number of countries present in our bio.
Yeah.
That's the vision. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dr. Violet.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed myself and I had a great time. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Violet. And for those who are here watching this live and will be watching this live in future, we welcome you to be a part of the Visionary Women's Circle. And you can see the website flashing down below, visionarywomencircle.com, and you can apply for membership. And we will be running you through eligibility criteria, after which we will definitely take up your memberships. And thank you, Dr. Violet, once again. And I'm sure we're going to meet on a virtual networking meet once again. And thank you. And you've been getting a lot of love in the comments. So some of our team members are trying to present some of that love for you on the screen. Thank you once again. And I'm sure this is just the beginning. Thank you very much. And bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a
Bye.
great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Divya. Bye, everybody. And great. Thank you. Thank you, Swapna. Yes.
Thank you, Karan.